Hi, everybody. This is Dennis Mann with Dennis Mann's podcast. Today is Sunday, October 22nd, and we're going to be talking about the Kristen Modafferi case. And for those of you who have followed Kristen's case, she was abducted back in 1997. She was 18 years old, and to this day, she's never been found. But I believe this is one of those missing person cases that can be solved, and the important thing is we just need to stay on it and don't quit. The reason why I say that is I think we have a suspect. Now, here I'm just speaking for myself. I think this guy, at the very minimum, knows more than he's telling about the disappearance of Kristen, okay? His name is John Onuma. And in the first couple of weeks after Kristen disappeared, he made an anonymous phone call at the time to the KGO TV station, and he gave information about what had happened to Kristen. He basically said that two women killed her, and they in San Francisco near on Market Street near Castro in downtown San Francisco. They drove her body over the Golden Gate Bridge, and they hid her body up by the Point Reyes National Forest. They said if you look near a wooden bridge up there, you'll see her remains beneath the bridge. And excuse me, the cops went up there, and they didn't find anything. But they talked to the reporter at KGO, and he mentioned to the police that right before the caller hung up, he said that one of the women that killed Kristen worked at the YMCA. So the cops are street smart, and they went right over there, and they met these women. And they could tell within 2 seconds the women had nothing to do with Kristen's disappearance. And the women were the one who first gave the police officers John Onuma's name. And if you watch the America's Most Wanted video clip here, you can hear Onuma at first denied that he had anything to do with the phone call. And then, surprisingly, the cops were good. They were able to flip him. And later during the interview, he proudly boasted that he was the one who made the phone call. So, they say that the very first hours, days, and weeks of a person's disappearance are their most valuable time. And here Onuma he's claiming it was all a funny joke, and he was just messing around with the cops. And at the very, very least, he should be thrown into the jail for that. But like I said, I do think he is at the very, very least, and I'm giving him a lot of leeway here. I think he knows more than he's saying, and he could be the person, in my opinion, that's responsible for Kristen's disappearance. Now, she disappeared in 1997. I'm going to show you something here in a second that came to me in 2012. So that's 15 years after she disappeared. You see, excuse me again, this woman right here, Jill Lampo, she was dating Onuma at the time, and they were living together on O'Farrell Street in San Francisco. And in 2012, they've long since broken up. She had an emotional breakdown, and she called her uncle and started talking about her life. And one of the things here, the uncle realized this was a very important phone call, and he started taking down notes. And you see his handwriting there. It's kind of hard to read, so where the arrow is, if you look to the right, I spelled it out for it. You can see it says that she got involved with a controlling man who convinced her to assist in an unspeakable kidnap and murder. Now, I don't know how many women were kidnapped and quote-unquote murdered in San Francisco while Jill was dating John in San Francisco. But I do know that Kristen Modafferi is missing. And I do know that the Oakland police thinks that he's a suspect. I do know that. Stupid Onuma now is living in Hawaii. So I want to use social media to create a series of podcasts and a bunch of video slides here to educate the people local, in Hawaii, in the communities where Onuma lives. Because if you think that Kristen Modafferi is the only victim of Onuma, well, Jill Lampo is also a big victim of his. And I've been contacted by, I'm trying not to exaggerate, maybe 9 women who have told me, it's almost like a Harvey Weinstein saga, A couple women come forward, and then they all start coming forward. And they're all sharing with me details, and there's a lot of similarities. And as we go on, I'll share all these with you. And maybe some of these women will agree to do a podcast. I'll ask and see if they can say yes or no. But so I was thinking, I got to be thinking about that Harvey Weinstein thing. A couple women come forward, now they're all coming forward. So I think there's more victims out there. And one thing the FBI says about criminals is they always talk. She said, they don't care who they are, they always talk. So I think Onuma's running his mouth to other people. And maybe he did the wrong person. Maybe he wronged a person and she's angry at him and she'll call us with information. So it's worth a shot. So anyway, a couple things I want to point out to you here. If you go to the website, it's findkristen.com. Key players, just click on the John Onuma link here. Okay. I give a very brief summary of who this character is. And then this leads here. A lot of these leads are from women that are victims of John Onuma. They've already contacted me and shared my story with them. And I've shared given their stories to the Modafferis and to the police and to the FBI. So they have all this, okay? And then if you want to learn the background, I draw a very brief case summary. I realize that people's attention spans are very brief, so I'm trying to keep it brief here. And then right here, this is what I'm hoping for. If you're a woman out there, if you've been victimized by John, or if you know any information, I'm asking you to please contact me, dennisman@yahoo.com, or you can call me. I'm on the East Coast. When it comes to Kristen Modafferi 24/7, I'm one of those people that you can't call too much. So thank you for listening. And every couple days, I don't know how often I'm going to do these. It's hard to do a podcast every day because you can run out of material real quick. But I'm learning as I go. So just keep on checking for the website, Find Kristen. I'll post stuff here and also on the podcast, okay? All right, everybody. Thank you very much.